Welcome, friends. Like my new shirt. I love it. Stay. Tomorrow needs you. And it does, friends. We need you. I need you in class. If you aren't coming to class or you are coming to class, keep coming to classes. You're going to learn more just by sitting there listening. And yeah, make sure that you are present and listening. Today, I'm going to sit here and review the principles of design. Okay, so I'm reviewing 3 chunks of information. Whenever Mr. Lake decides to come in, I could choose from the chapter 1 information, I could choose from the found object booklet, or I could choose from the principles of design. And the wonderful thing is you could bring in and say, all right, I did this project and I've got, balance in my artwork or something like that. So just know that I want you to be aware, sorry, friends, and I want you to be able to say, I can review and be able to talk about chapter 1, that's why I'm giving you the booklet, found object booklet, all that information about that, and then the principles of design. Okay, so review really quick, principles of design. Once you are familiar with the elements of art, which we're not going there right now, you need to learn how the principles of design can make your artwork better. The principles of design are balance, contrast, emphasis, movement, pattern, rhythm, and unity. They help artists organize artwork so it feels more comfortable to viewers. All right, let me just show you this one. In this painting, the arches set up a rhythm, okay, because it's more than one. Emphasis is on the working women. Notice the red. There is movement on both dark and light value paths to the focus area. All right. Unity is created with warm color dominance. It's mostly warm color. Contrast is seen in the size and value differences. Okay, so really dark next to really light. Contrast. The large arch in the foreground balances the small busy shapes of the tiny woman. Okay, so there is a nice little paragraph talking about somebody's artwork, which I might ask you to do, so make sure you're able to talk about that with your art, which I'm going to go over again. This little artwork right here shows movement, okay, emphasis, there's the red, balance, there's something on the left, something on the right, unity, repeated shapes, okay, repeated similar shapes. And then the movement just means that you follow a line, and then that line takes you around the picture. That's what movement is, all right? Again, let's look at this one. This one, I'm thinking you can see. It's so hard and so bright in here. I hope you can see it. This one has pattern because it repeats. Balance, something on the right, something on the left. It's symmetrical balance, actually. It's exactly split down the middle, same on the left, same on the right. It has movement, which it leads your eye around. It has unity because some things are repeated. You have contrast, extreme light next to extreme dark. You have emphasis, a little bit of red somewhere that we're supposed to start looking in the middle. And then it has rhythm, and that just means things are repeating. And it looks like waves or something, okay? So, balance is the comfortable arrangement of things in art. And here are all examples of things that have balance. All right, and so I might say to you, and I'm giving you like this pre-information so that if Mr. Lake comes in, this is what we're going to talk about when he comes in. And I want you to be able to unmute and talk about balance, or at the very least, talk about your artwork maybe and how it has balance. All right. This first one is symmetrical, same on both sides. Second one is symmetrical, same on both sides. The third one, it's asymmetrical, which means it has this big house on the left and it has a house and a lighthouse on the right. So if you split it down, it's not identical, but it is asymmetrically balanced. This person shape, I think is pretty balanced. I can't really tell. And then there is none here that are radial balance, that goes from the center like a circle. Maybe that one might be considered radial, but not really. And here is a bear, and this bear is asymmetrically balanced. All right. Next, we have contrast. And contrast is the difference between, I'm reading backwards, friends, between elements in an artwork. Okay, so it doesn't always have to be black next to white, but remember, Miss K, the way I wanted you to remember one quick one. If I say, okay, class, what's contrast? And you could say black, black next to white, white. That's an example of contrast, Miss K. So you'd be able to look at an artwork and see that the black line was right up next to something white, and say, I see contrast, Miss K. I see a really black line next to a really white spot. Okay, and that would be contrast. Go back there. All right, all right. I mean, I could play you videos, but I feel like if you're just listening to me and we're looking over this, you have a better understanding. All right. Okay, so again, it doesn't have to be black next to white, but they use like dark next to light. So here's this big white ice cube with the big dark blue. And some of them, I have to say, it's a little hard to see. And so I'm not going to lie, like this one and this one, it's hard. I would think that a better choice for this thing is an optical illusion to be sitting here with contrast, because you guys all know that what an optical illusion is. All right. Emphasis. And if you don't, say, Miss K, tell me what an optical illusion is. Emphasis is the one with the red. Okay. I teach you emphasis because I want you to know that when you're the artist, if you want someone to start somewhere and read something, make it have red around it. Emphasis is the creation of a focal area in a work of art. Okay? And so if I just, a quick go-to, Mr. Lakes here, what's emphasis? Wherever you put red, Miss K, that's where you want the viewer to start looking at your art. Yay, Crocus Wild. Okay, that would work. It is a focal area. It's where you're supposed to start focusing. All right, so the red works. And here's a little red here, a little red here, a little red here at the top of the roof, red here. So red is a sure thing. It's not always a sure thing, like in this one. It is not there, right there. But I'm just saying, so you guys can be able to tell me, just say the red part. Rewind it. Okay, I said that pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that. Movement. Movement is how we get around a work of art. All right. And so let me show you. Okay. Miss K, I remember when you taught us that the butterfly, there was one at the bottom left, and then one in the middle, and then one at the top right. So your eye naturally starts and then follows, and that's what movement is, Miss K. It makes your eye move across the artwork. All right, all right. Or you could say, and you also had a zigzag piece of paper that started at the bottom left and went to the top right or top, and your eye just visually follows it. That's what movement is, Miss K. All right. Pattern, Miss K, we learned pattern in kindergarten. An example of pattern is circle, square, blue, red, blue, red. Pattern decorates surfaces with planned, repeated units. All right. And there's the really clear picture of patterns here. Just like grandma's crocheted blanket. I don't know, like bark of the wood. And see, this doesn't even, I mean, a house, not the best example, but a pattern on a tie or on your clothes. There you go. Miss K, I'm going to pretend. Student, can you give me an example of pattern? Yes, Miss K. Pattern is a repeated thing going on your clothes. All right? And that would be a good example. If you look here, all right? Miss K, you showed us the artwork showing a little animal. It was a nocturnal animal, Miss K. He had big yellow eyes. And the fur on his coat was a good example of a pattern or rhythm, Miss K. Rhythm, just remember rhythm, all right? And rhythm, when you think of rhythm, you think, okay? Rhythm, it's happening more than once. And I like to think of sound waves, okay? So just imagine drawing different wavy lines on top of the screen. Okay, not in all the same perfect place, like the outfit. I don't have any pattern on me today. Or that way, I want you to like this, okay? Grandma's, a good example of pattern, Miss K, is Grandma's Afghan. Ah, the crowd goes wild. All right. A good example of rhythm is drawing some wavy lines across the paper that don't match up. Oh, you know what a better one is that he'll understand. Fur on a coat of an animal, okay? Like a patterned animal, patterned dog, because it has repeated colors, okay? All right, and again, here we are with rhythm, just in case we didn't understand the rhythm. Rhythm is the repetition of shapes, lines, and forms. I know it sounds an awful lot like pattern. This is an example of rhythm. All right, this is an example of rhythm. See how it's sort of the top one, like it almost looks like, yeah, it's bark again, bark of a tree. And then the next one looks like rocks. Next one looks like a building, and then there's a whole bunch of other buildings. All right, right here, that's showing rhythm, and this one is showing rhythm. So it's just, again, it's like the pattern is like all exactly the same, and the rhythm is not. Okay, so drawing an underwater ocean is a good example of rhythm. And the crowd goes wild. Good job. All right. And then there's unity. All right, let's look at unity. Unity means that all is in harmony. Okay, but then they throw variety. All right, because variety and unity are sort of the same things, but sort of different. So again, variety. What could I say for a variety, Miss K? Miss K, my grandma's got some yarn, and everyone is a different color, Miss K. That is an example of variety, and it's all in her basket. There you go. Okay, unity. Can somebody tell me what we did for unity? Yes, Miss K. We made some organic shapes, and we used some sparkly bling bling, or not, but we all made organic shapes. So then when you display the artwork October 21st, Miss K, our artwork is unified. Yay! All right, remember that. Play it again, okay? So again, these are the principles of design. We've done this before. Here's what it used to look like. Again, principles of design, the tools to plan and organize the art elements. So variety, remember the different colors of yarn. This was colored, but then I copied it. So balance, Radial balance is like the sunshine. Asymmetrical balance is not the same. Symmetrical balance isn't mean same on both sides like a face. Here's that rhythm I was just talking about. Here's a pattern where it's exact, like a checkerboard. There's the waves, and notice it's not exact. All right, this one curves down a little bit. Movement, just imagine little circles going across your paper or butterflies to go across your paper. There's movement. Emphasis, again, friends, pretend I'm hiding the red one because this paper is not color. Unity, you've taken a shape and repeated it. Contrast, really dark, dark, right next to really dark light. All right, so I have to make sure that here is the symmetrical, the bird. We draw an imaginary line down the center of our bird. It's exactly the same on the left as it is on the right. Radial balance. I can't get it out of there, friends. I'll rip it. There's the sunshine, like sun ray, radial. I spelled it wrong, though. Just know that. All right, so you would remember sun rays. And then right here is asymmetrical balance. There's a bird bending over, and the body of the bird is on the left side, and the bird's head and the bird egg is on the right side. So not the same on both sides, but still it is a balanced artwork. All right, we didn't talk about this one right now. Let me go over that again. Can anyone give me a good example of unity? That little clay pot that you told us that was going to be thrown away and it was given to you. And it had hearts around the top. And each heart, the variety was when they colored each heart a different color. Drop the mic, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Crowd goes wild. All right? All right. So I think that's pretty much it. We went over everything. Here's this little man. Why did we do that? Just so if somebody wants to set it as we go through the art show, it unifies. Also, it is, if you divide it in half and put it in your artwork and then we talk about it, the man is unified. I'm sorry, the man is symmetrically balanced. So if you have a person shape, okay? Wait, hold on. I don't think you can see my feet, but if we go like this, we have the same amount on the left as in the right. We are symmetrically balanced. We are a masterpiece, friends, and you are a masterpiece. So I hope you've enjoyed this review of Principles of Design. Let me show you something. All right, not that, not that. Miss K is going to give you, and I'm going to go over and tell you the answers. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I need to get to it, though. How do I get to it? Link, copy. All right. It's so hard to see in this bright light. I just liked it because I knew you'd be able to see inside the dark box. All right, so Miss K is having a little trouble, but we're going to make it work. It's about to happen. Here we go. No, Miss K, not that. Why can't I see it? Let's just take it and copy it. All right, and let's go to the internet and let's do it. Ready? Set. Oh my goodness, Miss K, you're already there. All right, friends, here we go. Principles of Design homework. This is a good one. All right, here we go. Study mode, and then click play. All right, I'm just going to write JK. Play. Homework goal, answer 60 questions. Now this one is not mine, okay, but you can see the black next to the white. What's the answer? Contrast. how different elements are used together to highlight their differences. All right, even distribution of weight refers to the visual weight that an image has, okay? And they're talking about symmetrical, asymmetrical. Which one is that? That is balance. That is balance. Same on the left, same on the right. Oh, I spy with my little eye something red. Which one's red? It's emphasis. All right. Now this one's a little different. It has to do with size. I did put something on the side. You can't see me right now though. So something big next to something little, that is scale. All right. Refers to the suggestion, motion. Which one means motion? Look, there's motion going on. Moving your eye across the page. Element or set of elements that is repeated in a piece of work or associated set of works. That looks like a pattern, my friends. All right, same repeated. Combining different elements, so not unity, but it's with unity. Look at all these different things. Which one means different? Variety means different. Achieved when the components of a work of art are perceived as harmonious. Which one means harmony? Unity. Look at the green things in the green circle. All right. Oh, there it is again. Okay, contrast. What is it again? Come on. You got it. It's emphasis. All right. So hopefully you're going to like have this down, friends. I see all that moving. It's movement. All right. And you get it down to the point where you're like, I got this. I know what it is. I can talk about it. This one is scale, size. Size is another word for scale. That one's unity. All right. And so I'm going to give you this. I don't think we need to do 60, but do you see how much easier it is getting as we keep going? All right. And once, that's why Miss K keeps practicing. So I'm going to stop that. All right. And we could keep going, but I think you guys got it. If you don't got it, I will send you a video. Where is Miss K? I can't see myself. There it is. All right, all right. Welcome back, friends. I love you guys. I hope you understand the principles of design. If you don't, tell me which ones you're having trouble with. I can talk about it more. But it's just, you can imagine, Miss K is here on this planet to teach you how to make some good art, okay? And Miss K brings 2 suitcases. And one of the suitcases is the elements of art, which I have quizzed you. If you've been here, I keep quizzing you year after year. I got to go, friends. And then the other suitcase are the principles of design. All right, and that helps you learn how to make good art. So whether you're here to be an artist or here to just do well, Miss K looks forward to hearing that you are going to do great on this principles of design and being able to talk about it now. All right, love you guys. Bye-bye.